Robert's Burning Questions. We are deeply unqualified, but nevertheless very eager to serve you a shovelful of useless answers.
It's good to see you. It's a great time here in the UK. We're managing to do live shows. I'm on the road in the middle of my Posh Pop tour, which features songs that Robert has played on in the studio, and they're going down so well. My band, the Posh Pop Band, are just so brilliant at picking up Robert's work, and the audience are just loving the new music. And all the critics that have come, we've had great reviews, have all picked up on the fact how well this band interprets your work.
Well, little lovey, I'd say it's your work, but it is a stunning band, and I went to see the very first show of this tour at Huntington Hall in Worcester, and it was stunning.
It was really lovely. It was lovely having Robert there. And when we came to play Space Dance, and in the video, Robert does the twist in Space Dance, the whole audience started chanting, "Robert, Robert, Robert," because they wanted you to come on stage and do the twist.
I must say they were encouraged by the singer in the band.
And what did you do?
I was by the door,
The exit
door, and if they kept going, the audience chanting the name Robert, I would have had to have run.
I'd have come and got you.
Well, whatever. Anyway, what is our first burning question this week, lovey?
These are fun questions. Blair Collins, you ask, what is a piece of technology that existed in your past but doesn't exist in your present that you miss the most?
How about you, lovey?
I have a list. Well, the very easy thing is I just loved portable CD players, which you can still get, but they're not great. And I love the CD player in my car because I'd rather have CD players than carry any form of technology I plug in and have to kind of select playlist. I had a Hoover in the 90s, and this is really boring, but it's so important. It was the most perfect Hoover. It was light. It only took a Hoover bag. I could pick it up with one finger. It sucked up everything, from ornaments to clothes to carpets. It did its job. And what do we get now? Things that only a muscle person can pick up, and it picks up about 2 pieces of dust. So I miss that terribly. Now, my mum had a mangle when I was very young. Now, a mangle was 2 rollers. You put the wet washing through the mangle. Oh, I loved it. I would love one today, and I know we could pick one up somewhere, but I miss that, really miss it. What do you miss?
Tortoiseshell guitar picks. When these were available, they stopped production around 1970 to save the torch. Yes, they were referred to as plectra. This was a plectrum, and following the Latin second declension neuter, a plectrum, the plural would be plectra. This would be considered pedantic nowadays, and they're called guitar picks. And these were the picks I used as a beginning player. This is one of my lifetime supply. I no longer use them, although the sound from them is superb. They were replaced in my playing life by Herdim guitar picks by Gunther Dick in West Germany, made of India rubber. And since these are no longer produced, I believe following a factory fire, these are made by Mr. Hiroshi Iketani in Japan. These are handmade guitar picks which Mr. Iketani makes for me, and also those in Guitarcraft and the Guitar Circle.
So your guitar plectrums technology?
Yes, they're technology for me.
A piece of technology.
Oh yes, this is for me a piece of guitar technology which enables me to play my instrument, which is no longer available.
Well, come on, tortoiseshell should never have been available in the first place.
Well, if you go back 200 years for mandolin players, there were not so many mandolin players in the world, and there were a lot more tortoises.
There was bone. Has bone never been used? A byproduct of eating meat?
I believe on some instruments, but as far as I know on the guitar, not.
Okay, well, all I can say is I'm happy for the tortoises.
I agree with that.
Paul Lawrence, you say, Toyah, could you please send me some of Robert's old ties? Also, does Robert sometimes get mistaken for a bank manager? Which would you like to answer first?
Well, let's go for the first. I'll lean forward. All right, dude. How many bank managers do you know with a hawk?
Yeah, my husband takes incredible pride in his way of dressing because, believe me, he couldn't be more opposed or polarized to how he dresses in his personality. There is nothing about my husband that is a bank manager. If I was to be really critical, he is a pampered pooch of the rock fraternity from the late 60s and 1970s who even has someone bring his coffee to him and do his laundry. And it isn't me.
May I comment?
Yes?
Bollocks!
But you are not like a bank manager, but you take incredible pride, and every day you want to dress in a way that you say you're going out into the world.
Yeah, well, let me be frank here. I'm dressing for my wife. I would like my wife to feel that her husband has some appeal.
Now, I think I know where you're coming from, Paul, is why don't we dress like rockers? Why don't we dress like everyone else who are in bands? I have always stayed faithful to my education from drama school, is that you do not look too specific. You do not look as though you belong to a brand. So I keep changing and chopping, and I've never dared dye my hair in the last 40 years because whenever I do, I get that phone call saying, "You're blonde, could you come and see this very well-known film director?" It's always a dilemma in my life if I have too strong a look. And I think with you, you have never looked like a rocker, have you? Except when you opened for the Rolling Stones in Hyde Park, and you really did look the part then.
Dunno.
Okay, well, let's get to your ties. Now, you ask Blair, does Robert have any spare ties? He has no spare ties, but he has lots of ties that he loves. Now, Frippy, did I buy you all these?
You bought me a significant proportion, dear.
And what I'm going to say to everyone thinks, how can we afford at least 1,000 ties? Because the GNU is completely covered in tie racks. We are very old, we've been working all our lives, and we accumulate stuff.
It's true. I do have some ties up there that go back to, I wore them in 1978.
That looks like one of them.
No, it is too, dear. It is.
There you go.
Here's another one too that was kicking about back then. And in there somewhere there is a tie I wore for the photo shoot of Exposure, my photograph taken by Chris Stein of Blondie.
Okay, well, if you show me that photograph, I would have picked it out for you because I have that kind of memory.
It's true.
So everybody, you ask Paul, would Robert give you some old ties?
No.
You've hit on a really sore point there.
No,
Paul.
you can't have my ties.
It's a bit like, if you've ever seen League of Gentlemen, it's a bit like Pauline and her pens. A tie is not coming your way.
My ties are precious things.
Let's change the subject. What's your magic chord today?
All right, we're looking at how we might hip up dig a D7th chord. So look here. No, that's not D7th, bollocks. This is. We might put a C here, bollocks again. Or, there, that's what I was trying to do, but I'm really useless at this. D7th with a 9th on top, all right, but how about this? Please notice also the face and the movement of the mouth indicating great passion.
That worked. That was good.
Do you like that?
I love that.
Well, that's how you hip up dig a D7th chord.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will see you tomorrow for another crazy Pushing the Boundaries Out Sunday lunch. And we will see you next week for Toyah at Home and another burning question. I'm on the road. If you want to come and see the band in the UK, look at toyahwilcox.com online and all the dates are there.
So please be well and stay safe from Robert.
Lots of love from Toyah.